Hello friends, I'm Jana Eubank and I'm back again with another layout using the February 2023 hip kits. Today I'm going to be starting with the beautiful seafoam cardstock as my background, and then I'm going to be using the exclusive February cut files. The one I'm using today is the Heart Solid Puzzle, I think that's what it's called, yeah, Heart Puzzle Solid, as to piece together a background. As I pulled the file into Silhouette, I used the color drop tool to represent the different patterns that I wanted to drop on each of the different pieces, and that allowed me to make sure that I had a good representation of colors across the design, and also that I could then, after I've decided the colors, pull them apart and group the different pieces together to cut out on the individual papers. While I was in there, I also cut one of the entire design just on some white cardstock, and then I roughly cut around it with my scissors. And I'm using that here as a placement guide to place all these puzzle pieces back where they belong. Now, before I adhered all these puzzle pieces, I did ink them lightly with a light gray ink, and that just helps each of the edges to stand out a bit more. You could also stitch around these, you could outline them, but I just opted to use some gray ink because I will be doing some more stitching later. So I'm using lots of fun patterns. I love that cheetah pattern, the black and white floral. I have the cardstocks, the wave cardstock, as well as the lilac, I believe it is, cardstock with the heart pattern. And I love the way that this looks. Oh yeah, and the yellow floral. So now that all those pieces are now tucked safely into place, I can just peel that guide away. And now I'm going to use my sewing machine to add a wonky outline stitch around the entire heart shape. This will just define the edges and also bring in that black color that is in the cheetah print and the black and white floral. Now there are also some brand new dies released in February, and I'm going to be using the hoop and floral die today to not only frame my photo but to add some leafy accents to my flower clusters later. This set is awesome. The largest embroidery hoop will fit a 4x6 photo, or a 4x4 photo I should say, and so I just simply adhered it to my photo, and then I love that the border or the edge of it is wide enough that I could add some stitching around there. You could also use that as a shaker die and create a shaker, which I think would be a lot of fun. Maybe create a journal spot and then add some shaker bits or sequins over it. Also included in the February main kit is this beautiful exclusive acrylic piece. It matches the lilac color of the pattern papers perfectly, and I just love it. Now it does come with like a backer piece to that peel off, so I peeled that off first, and then because it was so translucent, I thought, I'm going to adhere this to some white cardstock and create a shadow layer so that the patterns don't disrupt the title. So that's what I was doing there. While it was drying, I just added that journal tag from the embellishment kit, and then I just simply used my scissors to cut around the phrase, and now I'm going to add some black and white twine to this tag. Now, as I'm looking at the title, I've decided that it's a bit too solid and bright white for me. There are many vellum die cuts included in this kit, and so I took a cue from that and thought, instead of mounting it on the white cardstock, I'm going to add it to vellum. So I just simply peeled it off and re-glued it to some vellum, and while that's drying, I'm actually going to pull out the vellum die cuts from the main kit and sift through them. I'm pulling out the black rose florals, I'm also pulling out some phrases, and I'll be adding those to the page in a bit. My phrase is now dry. I'll just quickly trim that out, and we'll go ahead and adhere that across the bottom of the journal tag as well as my photo. And I like that the patterns are showing through, but also that vellum just gives that piece a shadow layer and helps that title to stand out a bit more. My absolute favorite set of embellishments this kit, or this month, is in the embellishment kit, and that is these chipboard florals. I'm going to pick out some of the large pieces to accent the bottom right edge of my photo, and then I'm also going to add a couple of them to the top left edge of the heart. Right now I'm just tucking in some of those black and white vellum rose outline die cuts to just add a bit more depth and to that floral cluster and make it feel larger than it is. I want it to feel like there's florals behind and florals on top. I'll go back in and add some leaves and try to make this bottom cluster look a little bit more grand. I'm also going to bring in some of the leaf stems from the hoop and floral die a bit later, but right now I'm just working on the basic shapes, and I love that those cream leaves tuck in there nicely and really frame that hoop die and the photo. I will fidget with these die cuts for a bit just to get them exactly right and exactly how I want them to look, and then we will move on. I'm sorry that that top one isn't in frame very well. I had zoomed in to work on the title and then I forgot to zoom back out. So this is the only footage I have of the flowers, but hopefully it will work. So now that I have those in, I'm just going to finish off by adding a few leaves. I added some dark blue chipboard leaves to the bottom cluster, which you'll see here in a minute, and then I added those teal leaves to the top cluster. I'm going to go ahead and just tack down the string of this journal tag in place with a little bit of liquid glue, and now I'm ready to keep moving on. We'll zoom back out now that I've realized that I was all zoomed in and you couldn't see very well. So now you have a better view of the overall page, and we'll keep working on the details. I went ahead and added that black XOXO vellum die cut from the main kit to the top floral cluster, and then you can see that I used the stamps from the February Pocket Life kit to add a phrase to the tag. That phrase says happy little moment, and I think it's perfect to go with my photo. Now, speaking of my photo, that's a photo of my husband and I. Last year we went on a Caribbean cruise together to celebrate our 25th anniversary, and so I love the seafoam cardstock in the background because it picks up the color of the water in that photo, and then all of those flowers have that fun tropical feel reminding me of our trip. Now that I had the floral clusters pretty much built out, I'm going to come back in with the puffy hearts from the embellishment kit and just fill in all the little spaces around the florals, and also add a couple to the journal tag. I love this because it's just a lovely layout, right? And those hearts are just kind of blending in. You almost don't see them, but they add a fun texture, and they're fun to kind of search for as you dive into the design a bit more. There were these cursive phrases in the main vellum die cuts, and I just loved them. I thought they'd be cute to add one along the bottom left edge of this heart, so I'll go ahead and do that now. And then now I'm feeling really good about this design. I decided to sprinkle some white paint across everything to just tie it all together. I do have a paper towel handy to wipe up any stray spots. And as I'm looking at this, I decide that it needs a bit more. Included in the love story cut file are these really cute butterflies. So I cut out several small butterflies. I'm going to stack them together, just bending at the wings of the butterfly on top, creating my own embellishments. So I will add 2 of those layered small butterflies to the right side of the heart, and then I'll add a larger one to the left side of the title. I'm thinking my page is done about now, so I go ahead and add my journaling to the tag. And as I finished writing my tag, I noticed I had a little bit of room left to add the date. So I'm pulling out the date stamps from the January Pocket Life kit, and I'll just go ahead and add that to the left side, and then replace the title and the large butterfly. Now this page looks great as it is, but I am loving these leaf stems included with the hoop and floral die. So I went ahead and cut several out of white cardstock, and now I'm just going to add them into my floral clusters, and I really like the dimensional feel or the dimensional effect that just a few of these die cut stems add to these flowers. I'll take a minute to just finish adding those little berry stems and leaf stems in there, and then that will complete my page. I hope you've enjoyed watching this layout come together with the February cut files. Again, be sure to subscribe so you have access to those exclusive cut files that coordinate with your kit. And then be sure to follow the Hip Kit Club team on the blog, here on YouTube, on Instagram, and in our Facebook group. The team is amazing. They supply daily inspiration, and even if you're not a subscriber, you will find lots of great ideas to incorporate into your own scrapbooking. All right, guys, my name is Jana Eubank for Hip Kit Club. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.